Well, let's take a look at what is happening in the markets, and we start off with how the JSE has done in today's trading session. In economic data, we did get producer inflation for May softening even more at 0.1% in May compared to the 0.5% that it was in April. And we are seeing the all share on the day climbing by almost 0.7%. That largely coming from the Resources 10 complex that surged more than 2.5%, of course, that being carried largely by the PGM miners. We do have the Industrial 25 also trading in the green, ticking up by more than 0.5%. But backing that trend is the Financial 15 sinking into the red by almost 0.6%. Let's take a look at what is happening with the markets stateside, and we do see the S&P 500 trading at or near record highs on that front. We did get economic data, though disappointing. The second reading of the US's GDP print for the first quarter, contracting 0.5%, more than the 0.2% in the first reading. Also did get in labor data, weekly initial jobless claims softening, meaning that less people filed for unemployment benefits. Of course, investors also digesting comments that came out of Fed Chair Jerome Powell's testimony in Congress yesterday. We do have the S&P 500, of course, up by almost 0.2%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq climbing by 0.2%, and the Dow rocketing by 0.7%. Let's take a look at what is happening with the markets across the Atlantic. And in company news, we did have the Swedish retailer H&M coming out with second quarter results, with sales surprising to the downside. Those markets, though, trading in green territory, FTSE 100 climbing by almost 0.4%, an uptick on the CAC 40 of almost 0.1%, and the DAX eking out gains of almost 0.2%. Let's check in on the currency scene and start off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies. The rand remaining steady against those currencies at 17.77 rand, against the greenback, against the pound at 24.41 rand, and against the euro at 20.80 rand. Let's check in on how the other currency pairs are doing, and we are seeing the euro dollar at 1.16 and the pound dollar, actually with the pound strengthening against the US dollar, trading at a high, I think that was last seen in 2021. And we do have the yen just above 144 against the US dollar. Of course, we did have the Japanese stocks reaching a 5-month high.